Hi everyone, I'm Ann Craig.
And I'm Darren Kramer. The state says the family who used to live in that house has not been allowed to live in there since January, but apparently the chickens stayed and they were found in absolute filth. News 8's Bob Wilson's been working this story tonight. He's live in Hartford with the latest. Bob?
That family was living hand in hand with those chickens for years until they were evicted in January, and then they were allowed to continue to feed the chickens because they didn't know what to do with it. 193 chicken is the exact total, and then they tested positive for a lung disease and had to be euthanized today. Right across the street from you, 193 chickens.
We had no idea.
193 chickens.
No way. That was like ridiculous when I heard that.
Neighbors still in shock, and when you see the pictures and hear the numbers, you can see why. 193 chickens living inside this one house in Plainville. The Department of Agriculture says they were humanely euthanized Friday morning after they were found by animal control in deplorable conditions.
Conditions were very unsanitary. There's chicken manure throughout the house, chickens living throughout the house, about as bad as it gets.
The chickens have been living in this house for years with the owners and didn't come to the attention of animal control until January when there was a small chimney fire. It was then discovered the numbers and conditions inside the home. They're living with them.
Yeah, oh yeah. I can't believe, how could you live with just a respiratory disease? You know, if that dried feces comes up.
Now, the owners of the property have come forward and say that they do plan on knocking the building completely down. Neighbors in the area say that's a good idea. They were a little concerned, but the Department of Agriculture said that even though the chickens had this contagious lung disease, it cannot be transferred from chickens to humans.
And I heard there were diseases too, did they find?
Yeah, it is not transmittable to humans, according to the Agriculture Department.
That's good to know. Living right across the street.
And having a young one.
Yes, exactly.
So how do you end up living day in, day out with 193 chickens roaming free in your house?
They always want to have their own chicken farm. It was kind of a hobby. They were raising some not so common breeds. And as they say, they admitted it got out of hand and they just got way in over their heads and chickens started living in the house.
Right now, it's still under investigation. They're not sure whether or not there are going to be criminal charges. If so, there could be cruelty to animals or neglect would be the charges. I'm Bob Wilson, reporting live in Hartford, News 8.